Today we're taking the tractor back in the woods. Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. This is Kevin with Living Traditions Homestead. I'm going to do some maintenance back in the woods today. I've got the rake hooked up to my tractor, so I'm going to take it back and rake some of the trails on our woods. And I thought I'd take this opportunity to take you guys along and show you kind of around our property a little more. You get to see in a lot of our videos the area up here closer to the house where we have the chickens and goats and pasture area, but we haven't done a lot of videos where we're back in the woods. We have about, I don't know, about 12 or 15 acres of wooded area on our property. It's a beautiful area, especially this time of year. Things are so green, and so I thought as I'm doing some of this maintenance today, I'd just kind of take you around and stop in a few places and kind of show you some of the different places on our homestead. So I also wanted to take this opportunity to show you a little bit about my tractor, give a quick overview if anybody's in the market for a tractor. I have an LS tractor and I've been very, very happy with it. I'll just show you a few things on that. Alright, as I said, I have an LS tractor. It's an LS XR 440 46H. It's a 46 horsepower and I believe about 38 horsepower on the PTO. Right now I have my rock rake hooked up to it, which is why we're going to head back to the woods to try to maintain some of the trails and just keep things kind of down back there. Now, I went with the hydrostatic transmission on this tractor. I wanted something that was easy to maneuver. I wanted something that Sarah could drive as well, which is why I went with the hydrostat, and I've been extremely happy with it. You still have 3 gears, 1, 2, and 3, and reverse. So it has all the power that I need here on the homestead. It's also 4-wheel drive, not all-time 4-wheel drive. You can switch from 4-wheel drive to 2-wheel drive just by pulling up a lever. I went ahead and had the rear tires liquid filled, which I believe adds about 800 pounds to the tractor, which is really nice. Makes it a lot more usable. You can fit a lot more in the bucket without lifting the tractor up off the ground. I've got a 6-foot bucket on this. It does have a roll bar that I'll put up before we go back in the woods, and that will just, you know, protect me if God forbid we roll over or roll down a hill or into a holler or something like that. It's kind of dusty, but I don't really believe in washing it much. If your tractor's not dusty, you're not working hard enough. So again, it's got everything that I need. I've been real happy with it, and we're gonna get going here back into the woods because it's hot out and I want to get in some shade. Alright, we're about halfway back on the property. We have a nice clearing back here. This is the spot that we call the birthday spot. The only reason we call it that is because when we first moved here, our youngest daughter Samantha, it was just before her birthday, and we found this nice clearing back in the woods, and she wanted to have her birthday dinner back here. So we brought some tables back, and we actually had dinner back here in the woods. So ever since then, this is called the birthday spot. So it's just a real pretty spot, lots of shade. It stays nice and cool back here even when it's hot everywhere else. So got some buzzards flying around. Hope that's not a sign that they're after me. Anyway, I'm going to show you just around a little bit, and then I get back to work. So this is the birthday spot. This is the clearing. So peaceful back here. Now, one thing I'll tell you is that before we bought this property, we've been here about a little over a year now, and I guess we've owned it for about a year and a half. And but before we bought it, probably about 5 years ago, the land was logged, and they took out a lot of the big cedar and I believe some of the pine. But if you've ever had a property logged, you'll know what they do is when they're done, they leave a big mess. They take the part of the tree that they want, the main trunk and all the big parts, but they leave the tops and small branches and everything all over the place. So it's a constant battle to try to get things cleaned up. The pine decays pretty fast, but the cedar, it just stays here. So that's part of what we're always trying to maintain. But a lot of it, we're just going to let nature take its course. So again, this is about halfway back on our property, and I just love coming back here. This is also where I do some of my deer hunting, and so, but super peaceful back here until I start the tractor up. Alright, so we got the birthday spot pretty well cleaned up, and I'm going to show you where we're going to head next. Now, I've never actually brought the tractor down to this area before. I know I can get to it on my ATV, but I haven't tried it with the tractor before, so this should be fun. It's a trail that runs right down the middle of our property. Our property is kind of narrow and long. Let me show you. You can see this trail runs behind me that way, and if I turn around, it runs down this way. Now, someone told me that this used to be a county road back in maybe like the 1920s or so, I don't know if that's true or not. It's not on any maps, but that's what some of the locals have said, that this used to be a county road. So it's a pretty area. I'm going to try to get down here with the tractor and see what I can do, and then we'll catch back up with you in a little bit. Alright, I was able to get the tractor down to this trail and get it cleared off. It's not perfect, but there's so many rocks back here. I can't get back here with a bush hog, so this landscape rake just really works really well to keep these trails under control. So let me turn around here and show you. So if you take this trail, there's some perspective. There's the birthday area. We come down, and if we take this trail straight back, that goes to the very back of our property. From the house to the back of the property is about a quarter of a mile. So if we come down, now we're headed back toward the house. Just a couple things down here I thought you might want to see, besides the scenery, because it is pretty. But you can see how rocky our ground is. It's back here in the woods, it's really, really rocky. Up on the front part of our property where the pasture is and our garden and all that, we're actually very fortunate. For the Ozarks, we have very good land up there. We can dig down about 2 to 3 feet before we hit many rocks, which is pretty amazing for the Ozarks. Most people we know don't have that luxury, so we didn't really know what we were looking for when we bought a place. But I guess we got lucky with that. So here you can see we have a big holler that runs through our property. Hopefully you can see how far down that goes. And that runs right through the center of our property. I'm not going to take you down there today, because if you've ever lived in a place with chiggers, you'll know this isn't the time of year you go in places like that, or you're going to come out in pretty bad shape, especially since I didn't put on any kind of bug spray or anything. So now in this area right down here, we actually have a little waterfall that runs, and when you're down at the bottom of that holler, that waterfall trickles down over some rocks. It's not a big waterfall, but there's definitely water that runs down there, and that was important to us to have at least some water right here on the property. So then if you look kind of up over there, that's on the other side of the holler. There is back over toward our pasture, and there's one trail over on that side that we need to maintain. So I'm going to get back on the tractor and drive over there, and I'll show you when we get to the other side. Alright, so now we're down on the other side of the holler. I know it's kind of overgrown this time of year, so it's kind of hard to see, but again, the holler goes down right there, and right over here is that waterfall that I was telling you about from the other side. If we turn around, that trail there takes us back out to our pasture and our barn where the goats are. So I'm going to get the tractor turned around and get this trail cleared up, and then I'm going inside for a nice cold drink of water, because it is hot out today. I think the heat index is supposed to be just about 100, and it's humid. So I'm going to go in and get that done and then move on to my next project. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Also, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about my tractor or the equipment that I was using today, or about our property, or about anything that we do around here, leave that in the comments below. We love to interact with you guys. So again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. And until next time, thank you guys so much for stopping by the homestead, and God bless. Thank you guys so much for stopping by the homestead today. We do truly appreciate every one of you for wanting to be part of our lives. We're now going to be putting out 5 new videos every week, Monday through Friday. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Also, don't forget to check out the videos over here on the side. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you next time back on the homestead. God bless.